Senate will come to order. Mr. Schaffler, please call the roll.
Senators Amabile, Baisley, Ball, Bridges, Bright, Carson, Catlin, Cutter, Danielson, Doherty, Exum, Frizzell, Gonzalez, Henriksen, Judah, Kipp, Kirkmeyer,
Excused.
Kolker, Liston, Lundin, Marchman,
Excused.
Michelson Genet, Mullica,
Excused.
Pelton B,
Excused.
Pelton R, Rich, Roberts, Rodriguez, Simpson, Snyder, Sullivan, Weissman, Winter, Senate District 17 vacant. Mr. President.
Let's do this. The morning roll call is 30 present, 0 absent, 4 excused, and 1 vacant. We have a quorum. Senator Carson, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of the journal. Senator Snyder.
Thank you, Mr. President, and I move that the Senate Journal for March 18, 2025 be approved as corrected by the Secretary.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the motion is adopted. Senate Services.
Correctly printed, Senate Bill 200, Senate Joint Resolution 14. Correctly engrossed, Senate Bill 31, 144, 149, 164, and 173. Correctly re-engrossed, Senate Bill 178. Correctly revised, House Bill 1043. Correctly re-revised, House Bill 1003, 1015, 1056, 1059, and 1181. Correctly enrolled, Senate Bill 4, Senate Joint Resolution 12.
Committee reports.
Committee on Finance. After consideration on the merits, the committee recommends the following. House Bill 1201 be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation and with the recommendation that it be placed on the consent calendar. Committee on State Veterans and Military Affairs. After consideration on the merits, the committee recommends the following. House Bill 1133 be amended as follows, and as so amended be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation. Committee on State Veterans and Military Affairs. After consideration on the merits, the committee recommends the following. House Bill 1238 be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation.
Majority Leader Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that we proceed out of order for moments of personal privilege.
The motion is to proceed out of order for moments of personal privilege. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and we will proceed out of order for moments of personal privilege. Senator Michelson Genet.
Thank you, Mr. President. May I have a moment of personal privilege?
Granted.
Thank you. I have guests today who I haven't seen yet. Nope, they're not in here yet. Okay, but today is People with Intellectual and Developmental Disabilities Day. And we recognize the community and family members, researchers, advocates, educators, providers, case managers, advocacy groups who work together to ensure that they have the support they need to be fully included and live meaningful lives in their communities. This year, people with IDD and those who support them are worried about how state and federal budget discussions might affect their services. The vast majority of services for people with IDD are provided through government programs, including Medicaid. The General Assembly is committed to protecting services for this population to the maximum extent possible and ensuring funding is adequate to maintain the workforce of dedicated direct support professionals who deliver them. As policymakers, we must work with the IDD community to resolve the barriers they face and ensure an adequate workforce to meet the needs of Coloradans with IDD. We express our most sincere appreciation to people with IDD and the contributions they bring to our communities and our state, and to the organizations and individuals and families who provide services, advocacy, education, and natural supports for their commitment to supporting and improving the quality of life for Coloradans with intellectual developmental disabilities. Let's all give them a hand. Senator Coleman.
Thank you, Madam President. I request a moment of personal privilege.
Granted.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Members, the members of the Colorado Senate are proud to honor Ray Michael Skip Miller, here to my right, who is retired after serving for 8 years as president of Colorado Winds and more than 20 years as a state employee at the Colorado School of Mines. As co-Winds president, Skip led the union to win collective bargaining rights in 2020, and then through 3 rounds of negotiations that won the better wages, benefits, and working conditions that have made life better for Coloradoans, more than 27,000 state employees. That has helped us, the state, attract the people we need to make Colorado run, and to be better served the nearly 6 million people who live here. We are honored to have this opportunity to formally recognize Skip Miller for having always put service over self and for his invaluable contribution to making Colorado a better place to live for us all. Please join me in welcoming Skip Miller. Thank you for your service. Senator Danielson.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you so much, colleagues. I just wanted to echo.
Request a moment.
May I request a moment of personal privilege?
Granted.
Thanks. Sorry, Mr. President. Folks, I just wanted to say on behalf of the rest of the senators, thank you, Skip. I know you have a great celebration tonight. Welcome to SEIU, Colorado, WINS, CCWU, and Local 105. We hear you, we see you, and I'm so grateful for your presence, and also to honor this man on the floor. Thank you all, folks.
Thank you. Thank you all for being here. Senator Henriksen.
Thank you, Mr. President. I request a moment of personal privilege.
Granted.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, the Bessemer neighborhood of Pueblo is one of my favorite communities in my city. It's a close-knit community. It actually used to be its own city. The city of Bessemer existed prior to being annexed by the city of Pueblo over 100 years ago. It's home of the steel mill. It's home of Gagliano's, which anybody who's been to Pueblo knows is more than a 100-year-old Italian grocery store. Home of several community restaurant establishments. Bessemer Park is where I ride my bike with my son every summer, where he enjoys the pool and the community festivities there. Late last night, the community of Bessemer was rocked by a large shootout. And by the time it was complete, the suspect was deceased, but 3 officers of Pueblo Police Department were also shot in the line of duty. The names of those involved have not been released pending complete notification of next of kin. I am extraordinarily grateful that I've received word this morning that the injuries sustained by the officers involved are not life-threatening, but I want to recognize them here today for their extraordinary service and offer my prayers for their full recovery and for the comfort of their families and for the entire community of Bessemer. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Henriksen. Majority Leader Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. President. Having voted on the prevailing side, I move for the reconsideration of the governor's appointments of James J. Tuchon for the Parks and Wildlife Commission.
Thank you very much, Mr. Majority Leader. Before we move forward, Mr. Schaffler, please add Senators Mullica to the roll, Kirkmeyer to the roll, Pelton B to the roll, and Marchman to the roll. The motion is for the reconsideration of the governor's appointments of James J. Touchton to the Parks and Wildlife Commission. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The motion is adopted and reconsideration is granted. Consideration of governor's appointments. Mr. Schaffler, please read the governor's appointment to the Parks and Wildlife Commission.
Member of the Parks and Wildlife Commission for a term expiring July 1st, 2028, James J. Touchton of Hasty, Colorado, to serve as a representative of a nonprofit organization that promotes conservation and recognizes non-consumptive wildlife use, reappointed.
Senator Roberts.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the confirmation of James J. Touchton to the Parks and Wildlife Commission and request a no vote.
Any discussion? Seeing none, the motion is the confirmation of James J. Touchton as member of the Parks and Wildlife Commission. Are there any no votes? Senators, Mr. Minority Leader, Simpson, Frizzell, Roberts, Catlin, Baisley, Rich, Liston, Pelton R., Carson, Bright, Kirkmeyer, Pelton B., Mullica. With a vote of 20 ayes, 14 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, and 1 vacant, the appointment is confirmed. Third reading of bills. Final passage. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title, Senate Bill 31.
Senate Bill 31 by Senator Roberts and Representatives Soper and Velasco concerning government agency assistance and services related to wireless communication.
Senator Roberts.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move Senate Bill 31 on third reading, final passage, and ask for an aye vote.
Any discussion? Seeing none, the motion is the passage of Senate Bill 31. Are there any no votes? Senators Baisley, Pelton R., Bright. With a vote of 31 ayes, 3 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, and 1 vacant, Senate Bill 31 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Weissman, Michelson Janae, Judah, Mr. Schaffler. Oh, please add Senator Marchman as a co-sponsor. And Cutter. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title of Senate Bill 173.
Senate Bill 173 by Senator Weissman and Representatives Garcia and Zokai concerning the classification of certain state revenue for purposes of calculating state fiscal year spending pursuant to Section 20 of Article 10 of the state constitution, and in connection therewith clarifying the statutory definitions of damage awards and property sale for purposes of calculating state fiscal year spending.
Senator Weissman.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for the adoption of Senate Bill 173 on third reading and final passage and urge a yes vote.
Any discussion? Seeing none, the motion is the passage of Senate Bill 173. Are there any no votes? Senators Simpson, Frizzell, Catlin, Baisley, Rich, Liston, Pelton R., Carson, Bright, Kirkmeyer, Pelton B. Mr. Minority Leader. With a vote of 22 ayes, 12 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, and 1 vacant, Senate Bill 173 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Henriksen, Winter, Marchman, Colker, Cutter, Sullivan, Ball, Gonzalez, Judah, Kipp, Michelson Janae, Exum. Please add the President. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title to Senate Bill 164.
Senate Bill 164 by Senators Winter and Marchman and Representatives Jackson and Wilford concerning opioid antagonists with a primary focus on the youth opioid epidemic, and in connection therewith clarifying requirements for school policies about possession and administration of opioid antagonists, requiring the State Board of Health to determine who a prescriber may prescribe or dispense an opioid antagonist to, and requiring that the State Board to consult with the Colorado Youth Advisory Council on issues relating to the youth opioid epidemic.
Senator Marchman.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move Senate Bill 164 on third reading and final passage.
Any discussion? Seeing none, the motion is the passage of Senate Bill 164. Are there any no votes? Senators Rich, Pelton R. With a vote of 32 ayes, 2 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, and 1 vacant, Senate Bill 164 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Colker, Weissman, Kipp, Henriksen, Judah, Michelson Janae, Snyder, Sullivan, Amabile, Cutter. Please add the President. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title of House Bill 1043.
House Bill 1043 by Representatives Ricks and Bacon and Senator Exum concerning the protection of unit owners in relation to enforcement actions by unit owners associations.
Senator Exum.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that House Bill 1043 be passed on third reading and final passage.
Any discussion? Seeing none, the motion is the passage of House Bill 1043. Are there any no votes? Senators Bright, Kirkmeyer, Pelton B., Simpson, Frizzell, Carson, Pelton R., Catlin, Baisley, Liston, Rich. You know I say the best for last. With a vote of 23 ayes, 11 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, and 1 vacant, House Bill 1043 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Weissman, Cutter, Colker, Snyder, Amabile, Kipp, Henriksen, Judah, please add the President. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title to Senate Bill 149.
Senate Bill 149 by Senator Doherty and Representative Ferre concerning measures affecting equestrians.
Senator Doherty.
I move Senate Bill 149 on third and final passage and ask for an aye vote.
Any discussion? Seeing none, I'm just joking. Senator Pelton B.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just would really like to thank the sponsor for working so hard and diligently to make sure that this was a bill. She talked to myself and several other people in agriculture that's dealt with horses before. I am not going to be a yes today, but I just really want to say thank you for all the outreach and all the outreach with local governments and that sort of thing. So thank you to the good senator from Arvada. Okay, that works. Thank you.
Look at all that bipartisanship. Mr. Minority Leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Colleagues, years ago, my daughter was about 12 years old, and we kind of got into a circumstance in life where the question in her life was horses or boys? Horses or boys? And I decided horses was a really good pathway at that point. And so my yes vote on this bill today will be to bring more horses into the more urban environments, if you will, of our communities on behalf of all the fathers who will be dealing with the issue that I dealt with a number of years ago. I appreciate the bill. I'm a yes vote.
Seeing hopefully no further discussion, the motion is the passage of Senate Bill 149. Are there any no votes? Senators Pelton B., Bright, Carson, Pelton R., Baisley, Exum, with a vote of 28 ayes, 6 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, and 1 vacant, Senate Bill 149 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Winter, Judah, Cutter, Bridges, Amabile, Ball, Snyder.
It's multimodal.
It is multimodal. It's true.
Mr. Schaffler, please read the title to Senate Bill 144.
Senate Bill 144 by Senators Winter and Bridges and Representatives Wilford and Zakai concerning changes to the Paid Family and Medical Leave Insurance Act.
Senator Bridges.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move Senate Bill 144 on third reading and final passage.
Any discussion? Seeing none, the motion is the passage of Senate Bill 144. Are there any no votes? Senators, Mr. Minority Leader Simpson, Frizzell, Catlin, Baisley, Rich, Liston, Pelton R., Carson, Bright, Kirkmeyer, Pelton B. With a vote of 22 ayes, 12 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, and 1 vacant, Senate Bill 144 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Sullivan, Henriksen, Kipp, Weissman, Judah, Michelson Janae, Cutter, Snyder, Amabile. Please add the President. General orders. Second reading of bills. Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to lay over general order second reading of bills until Thursday, March the 20th.
The motion is to lay over general orders second reading of bills until Thursday, March the 20th. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and general order second reading of bills will be laid over until Thursday, March the 20th. Consideration of resolutions. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title of SJR 013.
Senate Joint Resolution 013 by Senator Judah and Representative Zakai concerning recognizing Thursday, March 20th, 2025 as Nowruz Day.
Senator Judah.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move SJR 013.
Any discussion? Senator Judah.
Thank you, Mr. President. Do I have to ask for a moment of personal privilege? Okay. Thank you, Mr. President. Members, today we are honoring Nowruz, which is the Iranian New Year. Nowruz is a celebration that teaches us the power of renewal, resilience, and hope. As the new year begins with the arrival of spring, Nowruz reminds us that no matter the challenges we faced, each season brings a fresh opportunity to build, to heal, and to move forward together. At its core, Nowruz is more about tradition, is not just about tradition. It is about the values that connect us all, gathering with loved ones, honoring our past, while looking ahead and embracing the hope that comes with new beginnings. These are the values that transcend cultures and borders, reminding us of our shared humanity. In a world that is too often focused on division, Nowruz offers a moment of reflection on unity. It is a celebration that calls to us to come together across communities, to uplift one another, and to recognize the richness that the cultural diversity brings to our state and our nation. So today, let us not only celebrate Nowruz, but also recommit ourselves to the spirit it represents, one of renewal, peace, and shared prosperity, all to observe this holiday. I also want to mention that Nowruz is celebrated outside of Iran in many, many different nations across the Middle East, North Africa. On behalf of the MENA caucus, I want to wish everyone a year filled with joy, health, and success. On each of your desks today, we have a treat. Thank you, Mr. Minority Leader. It's a marzipan treat that is often served during Nowruz, and with that, Nowruz Mubarak.
Thank you, Senator Judah. Any further discussion? Seeing none, the motion is the adoption of SJR 013. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 34 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, and 1 vacant, SJR 013 is adopted. Co-sponsors, Senator Judah.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that today's roll call be added as co-sponsors.
Seeing no objection, the current roll call will be added as co-sponsors. Signing of bill. Committee reports.
Committee on Business, Labor, and Technology, after consideration on the merits, the committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 132 be amended as follows, and as so amended, be referred to the Committee on Appropriations with favorable recommendation. Committee on Business, Labor, and Technology, after consideration on the merits, the committee recommends the following. House Bill 1018 be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation. Mr. President, the Committee on Business, Labor, and Technology has had under consideration and has had a hearing on the following appointments and recommends that the appointments be placed on the consent calendar and confirmed. Member of the Underground Damage Prevention Safety Commission, effective January 2nd, 2025, for terms expiring January 1st, 2028. Julie McCaleb of Anton, Colorado, to serve as an individual nominated by the Commissioner of Agriculture who is actively engaged in farming or ranching, reappointed. Kristen Miller of Lakewood, Colorado, to serve as an individual nominated by the American Council of Engineering Companies of Colorado to represent engineers, appointed. Rob Martindale of Grand Junction, Colorado, to serve as an individual nominated by the Department of Transportation to represent Transportation, reappointed. For terms expiring January 1st, 2028, Kathleen Anderson of Aurora, Colorado, to serve as a representative of contractors occasioned by the resignation of Moses Alvarez of Aurora, Colorado, appointed. Richard Russell of Platteville, Colorado, to serve as a representative of telecommunications, previously serving as a representative for excavators, appointed. Scott Wendland of Conifer, Colorado, to serve as an excavator, appointed. For a term expiring January 1st, 2027, Kelsey Davis of Denver, Colorado, to serve as a representative of pipeline companies occasioned by the resignation of Mitchell Peebley of Centennial, Colorado, appointed. Mr. President, the Committee on Business, Labor, and Technology has had under consideration and has had a hearing on the following appointments and recommends that the appointments be placed on the consent calendar and confirmed. Members of the Workers' Compensation Cost Containment Board for terms expiring December 13, 2027. Megan Strong of Thornton, Colorado, to serve as a representative of an employer with good risk management experience with respect to their workers' compensation insurance, reappointed. Allison Miles of Parker, Colorado, to serve as a representative of an employer with good risk management experience with respect to their workers' compensation insurance, reappointed. For a term expiring December 13, 2025. Robert Schweitzer of Centennial, Colorado, to serve as an executive with good risk management experience in the insurance industry, occasioned by the resignation of Steve Carpenter of Frederick, Colorado, appointed.
Signing of bills.
The President has signed Senate Bill 24, 28, 39, and 170.
Announcements. Senator Snyder.
Thank you, Mr. President. I ask for a moment of personal privilege.
Granted. Members, this is a very important moment of personal privilege. Granted.
So 30 years ago on this day, I was so fortunate I got to marry the love of my life down in El Paso, Texas. And so today is our 30th wedding anniversary. It shocks me that she stuck it out this long with me, but I want to thank my wife Kelly for putting up with all of my elections and campaigns and all my time up here in Denver. I can't thank her enough for 2 wonderful kids, a great life together, and I love you, Kelly, more today than I did 30 years ago. Thank you.
Yeah. Congratulations, Senator Snyder. Senator Mullica was 7 years old, and you guys got married.
That's true. That's true.
Senator Mullica, do you have an announcement?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. Members, Senate Health and Human Services Committee is scheduled to meet today. We are actually going to meet 1 hour upon adjournment, and so let's plan on meeting at 11 o'clock in the old Supreme Court.
Senator Winter.
Thank you, Mr. President. Transportation and Energy is going to meet today. We have appointments to the Aeronautical Board, the Energy and Carbon Management Commission, House Bill 110, and House Bill 1007, and Senate Bill 187. I look forward to working with you all this afternoon.
Senator Coker.
Thank you. Senate Education Committee will be meeting today at 1:30. We have 3 appointments to the Board of Trustees for Adams State and 1 bill, Senate Bill 191.
Senator Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, I want to invite you all to join this afternoon at 1:30. The Joint Judiciary Committee is going to be hearing a presentation about the role of states in protecting affordability, and we are excited to hear from the former legal counsel from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which is the national agency created in the aftermath of the Great Recession as a watchdog for consumers. That agency, just in the past few weeks, is actively in the process of being dismantled at the federal level. We will also hear from the Federal Trade Commission's, as of yesterday, former Commissioner Alvaro Bedoya. He was actually fired from the FTC just yesterday, and will be joining us to talk about the importance of the states in advancing consumer protections and affordability. I invite you all to join and listen in. It should be a quite insightful presentation. Thereafter, our Senate Judiciary Committee will convene upon the adjournment of our joint judiciary hearing to take action on House Bill 1090. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Minority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, there are a number of things that can change your life, hopefully for the positive. You might have a spiritual experience that changes your life. You might have a relational experience, as the good senator from Manitou Springs just spoke about, that changes your life. But I'm here to tell you right now that you can change your life today, right here at this Capitol. Between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m., puppies will be at the Capitol. And you can take a puppy home with you today, and I assure you that will change your life. I believe I want to say they are on the east steps, but I don't know. West Foyer, it says here. Between 10 and 2 today, pick up a puppy, change your life.
Change your life. Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. To clarify that the Humane Colorado also used to formerly be known as the Dumb Friends League. They have changed their name. The good minority leader has cleared out my other announcement, so enjoy the puppies.
There is at least one more announcement from the Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, we will be keeping the desk open to read some bills across the desk later today, so you no need to return. On that note, Mr. President, I move the Senate recess until 11 a.m. today.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The Senate will stand in recess until 11 a.m. today.